Far removed from these times, in an age now none can recall, the black thread of hate strung from a long and distant feud possessed these two warriors to clash in a fatal battle. Descendants of the dignified Maryland and noble McCulloch, the final links of the lineage of this lasting conflict, experienced but a chance encounter in these woods of philosophical animosity. And thus, the brush emerges as a skirmish, and these steel blows light the essence of the bloody debate. It all started with a dispute in 1790 between Secretary of Treasury Alexander Hamilton and Secretary of State Thomas Jefferson. While Hamilton claimed that Congress had power to create a national bank, Jefferson opposed, believing that the power belonged to the states. Despite Jefferson's opposition, the first national bank eventually came into existence under congressional authority. This consequently led to the debate on February 22, 1819, in which the state of Maryland stood against the national bank by enforcing tax on the bank, while bank cashier McCulloch refused to pay the tax. Thus begins the feudal battle between McCulloch and Maryland.
You fiend, McCulloch! Have you no dignity? Pay up your tax money or suffer death by my sword!
There's no reason for me to abide by your foolish wishes. Take your leave today, lest I be forced to make a fool of you. You possess no right to tax my honorable heritage, the National Bank. We follow the teachings of our sensei, Alexander Hamilton, the man who rightly proves the elastic clause of the Constitution.
McCulloch, Congress may pass any laws necessary and proper to carry out the powers vested in the various government agencies.
A fool to the end, McCulloch. The federal government had no right to form the national bank. The Honorable Thomas Jefferson Sensei rightly proves the 10th Amendment nullifies the elastic clause.
Maryland, remember, powers not delegated to the federal government are reserved to the states and the people. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited to the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people.
It seems that words are useless. In that case, let action take its place.
It is useless to speak to mindless fools.
A fool you are! A loose interpretation of the Constitution allows Congress to create a national bank.
The power to create a national bank is not listed as a power of the government.
The powers of the general government represent the people and do not support the states.
The power of the government emanates as an act of sovereign and independent states. The powers of the general government are delegated by the states, who are alone truly sovereign and must be exercised in subordination to the states. You had no right to create the bank. Now accuse us of taxing it? This will be your downfall, foolish one.
The bank was created. All treaties made or shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. Any such violation is a traitorous action.
This is it then!
The final strike!
On March 6, 1819, the case closed. The Supreme Court concluded that the state of Maryland did not have the power to tax the National Bank. This power instead belonged to Congress. Chief Justice John Marshall said,
"The power to tax involves the power to destroy, and the power to create implies the power to preserve."
The impact of this conclusion was a remarkable step toward the establishment of federalism due to the verdict being in favor of the federal government. As a result, the elastic clause was accepted as the foundation of the Constitution. It strengthened the powers of Congress under the other clauses.
You had no right to create the bank. Now accuse us of taxing it? This will be your downfall, foolish one.
The bank was created. All treaties made or shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. Any such violation is a traitorous action.
This is it then!
The final strike!